Long ago, humans and wolves were in a competitive relationship. They both lived in groups centered around family and had similar favorite prey. Even their hunting methods for capturing larger animals were alike. They used their excellent endurance to chase the prey until it got tired, and then the group attacked together. Their territories were close, so humans and wolves fought over limited resources for a very long time. Then, one day, modern humans, Homo sapiens, succeeded in taming this rival. This happened during the Paleolithic era, between 12,000 to 14,000 years ago. There are two main hypotheses about this. One suggests that it began by giving food to a wolf cub that accidentally separated from the pack. The other proposes that wolves, which used to eat food discarded by humans, chose to be domesticated voluntarily. Whatever the case may be, it is certain that the gray wolf, which was initially more docile, evolved into what we now call a dog, and it was the first animal successfully domesticated by humans. Of course, this process took thousands of years. However, due to the similarity in the social structure and living environment of wolves and humans, the gray wolf was better adapted to human life compared to other animals. Recent research even suggests that the history of dogs living alongside humans goes back 30,000 years. This is almost the same period when Homo sapiens appeared. Some scholars argue that dogs' domestication played a role in Homo sapiens' victory over their competitors, the Neanderthals, with whom they coexisted. Accompanied by dogs, who possess excellent hunting skills to locate prey, the hunting success rate of Homo sapiens would have greatly increased. If this research is true, it means that our connection with dogs dates back to the dawn of humanity. Around 10,000 years ago, the agricultural revolution took place. As humans transitioned from hunting and gathering to an agricultural society, they finally had surplus agricultural products. Consequently, human communities grew larger, and the role of dogs expanded as well. What new task was given to dogs along with hunting? It was catching mice. With surplus agricultural produce stored in warehouses, the mouse population also exploded. Although cats are now famous for catching mice, dogs had excellent abilities to catch them too. Later, as cats became domesticated masters of mouse catching, dogs moved on from this role. However, dogs received love from humans early on due to their versatile nature. The agricultural revolution brought surplus agricultural products brought private property, and private property brought class divisions to human society. Slavery was also present during this time. It was around this period that dogs took on the primary role of guarding homes. As guard dogs, their main task was not only to prevent intruders from the outside but also to prevent slaves from escaping. Dogs made their significant appearance in history alongside humans during the times of Egypt and Rome. Dog domestication in Egypt took place around 6,000 years BC. The ancient Egyptians' love for dogs was extraordinary. In Egypt, dogs served not only in hunting and guarding but also as the first known pets, cared for by women. In ancient Egypt, dogs were highly esteemed, and when a pharaoh died, dogs would become mummified and buried alongside them. Eventually, in Egypt, dogs even appeared as gods. In Egyptian wall paintings, a half-human, half-dog figure named Anubis frequently appeared. Anubis served as a sort of underworld messenger, guiding the deceased to Osiris, the god of judgment. The presence of multiple dogs with collars in the Egyptian wall paintings indicates that dog domestication was well established. During the Roman era, dogs had a wide range of uses. Apart from their original roles in hunting and guarding, dogs were actively used as military dogs participating in battles. One of the most interesting finds is a picture discovered at the ruins of Pompeii, which dates back to 79 AD when the volcanic eruption occurred. In this picture, a dog is depicted guiding a visually impaired person, similar to modern-day guide dogs. Whether there were specially trained guide dogs during the Roman era is uncertain. Nevertheless, the Romans cherished dogs and even built tombs and memorials for them when they passed away. However, with the fall of the Roman Empire in the 5th century, the golden age of dogs also came to an end. The medieval period was a dark time not only for humans but also for dogs. Dogs frequently appeared in Greek and Roman mythology alongside gods, where they played roles such as guarding the gates of hell or Zeus' temples. From the perspective of Christianity, this was considered objectionable. It was seen as a pagan culture and idolatry that needed to be eliminated. In the Bible, dogs were portrayed with a negative image, seen as selfish and unclean. This negative perception was particularly severe during the early medieval period in Europe, from the 5th to 8th centuries. Owning a dog could easily raise suspicion of being a heretic. As many people abandoned their dogs, these dogs sought refuge in the woods and caused a widespread outbreak of rabies. The church tried various remedies, such as placing the fur of a rabid dog's wound and using amulets with prayer, but they proved to be futile. With a mortality rate of 100%, stray dogs were indiscriminately killed. Rabies patients exhibited excessive drooling and sudden aggression, which contributed to the creation of werewolf legends. The outbreak of rabies led people to increasingly abandon their pet dogs, perpetuating a vicious cycle of rabies spreading further. Later, during the Black Death, dogs were strangely blamed for spreading the disease. They were exterminated throughout Europe, which only exacerbated the spread of the plague as dogs disappeared. As dogs, along with cats, were natural enemies of rats, the disappearance of dogs led to the plague spreading more widely. Dogs were also victims during the witch hunting era. Merely owning or feeding street dogs could be considered evidence of being a witch. Dogs themselves were accused of witchcraft and were subjected to mass executions, similar to witches. However, as the medieval era came to an end, the fate of dogs began to improve. Especially during the 15th century Renaissance period, having magnificent dogs among royalty, nobility, and the wealthy became a means of displaying wealth and status. In the medieval era, hunting dogs like greyhounds were considered the ultimate gifts for princes. Paintings depicting medieval banquets often show large dogs adorned with pearls and jewel necklaces, wandering around the dining table. These dogs would receive the leftover food thrown to them by the people attending the feast. Between the 15th and 16th centuries, dogs even appeared in noble family crests, and the term pet dog was first used among noblewomen. Of course, there were also many criticisms. Some believed that feeding dogs was a waste of food that should go to the poor. The church also forbade clergy members from keeping dogs, claiming that it hindered their devotion to God. Nevertheless, these restrictions were futile. Nuns openly started keeping dogs in the church, and by the 18th century, ordinary people could own dogs without fearing accusations of heresy or witchcraft. In the late 17th century, English gentlemen started carrying canes as a fashion statement, symbolizing authority. However, in 18th century London, dogs were so abundant that the cane became a necessary accessory for gentlemen to shoo away the dogs. Dressing dogs in clothing is also an ancient practice. Paris was the fashion capital, and in the 19th century, Parisians were the pioneers of this trend. They not only dressed dogs in vests but also wore matching couple outfits with their canine companions. However, not all dogs had a fortunate fate. Nobles enjoyed watching dogs fight against bears or bulls in dog fights. In wealthy households, there used to be turnspit dogs or kitchen dogs, specifically bred to run on a treadmill-like device to evenly cook meat. This practice, known as the cooking wheel dog, was a clear case of animal cruelty. In the early 19th century, the UK enacted the first animal cruelty prevention law, leading to the disappearance of such practices, and around the same time, the pet food industry began to develop. After World War II, during an extended period of peace, the number of pet dogs exploded worldwide. Currently, it is estimated that there are approximately 400 breeds and anywhere from 400 million to 1 billion dogs globally. Modern-day dogs serve humans in various fields, with most being companion animals. Some dogs work as herding dogs, search and rescue dogs, guide dogs for people with disabilities, detection dogs for finding drugs, and therapy dogs providing emotional support. However, when we see some modern-day pet dogs, they often appear quite different from their wild ancestors, resembling cute and small creatures more than wolves. This is because many existing dog breeds have undergone prolonged inbreeding and breeding to achieve desirable appearances that people find endearing. As a result, nowadays, many dogs carry life-threatening health issues. For example, dachshunds, bred with elongated bodies, are at significant risk of spinal injuries. Breeds like bulldogs and pugs, with their flat faces due to selective breeding, often experience congenital breathing difficulties. Even the smallest breed, Chihuahuas, can seem delicate and prone to leg fractures due to selective breeding. As a result, when observing dogs in parks nowadays, one might wonder if these problems are the unintended outcomes of unnatural breeding practices, almost like a form of animal cruelty. Nevertheless, dogs and humans have shared most of history together, and as long as humanity exists, this historical partnership, overcoming challenges side by side, will continue. Subscribing and liking the video are a great help. Thanks for watching.